There are places in the world where the shadows gather thick, where secrets rest behind locked doors, and where the past refuses to sleep quietly. Florence, the city of light and genius, is also a city whose stones have absorbed centuries of whispered dread. In the spring of 1966, as the Arno River rolled quietly beneath crowded bridges, an invitation whispered through the academic circles of Europe. The Uffizi Gallery would unveil a hidden trove, a collection of Renaissance artworks never before shown to the public. These were pieces too enigmatic, too fraught with questions to be neatly catalogued or displayed with pride. And among these shadowed masterpieces rested a painting so obscure, so little understood, that curators had given it not a title, but merely a name, a warning, barely veiled. Il Pozzo, the well. It was small, easy to pass over. A frame of knotted dark wood, brushed with the patina of centuries, and a canvas blistered with age. Yet from its center, a perfect circle of black seemed to pull at the eye, a gravity of darkness that unsettled even the most seasoned of art handlers. The only signage beside it was a trembling card that read, Il Pozzo, artist unknown, c. 1532. Over the course of 3 sibilant candlelit evenings, scholars and critics clustered near the forbidden image, their voices dropping low as they speculated about its origin. In a city of marvels, this painting seemed to exist like a cold draft in a warm room, shivering those who dared meet its gaze. One rainy night, 2 volunteers for the exhibition, art students named Giulia and Matteo, were tasked with closing the gallery. The hush of marble corridors stretched long as midnight approached. Cameras, then primitive by today's standards, continued to run after the last officials departed. What followed became legend before dawn. The security reels, grainy and trembling, captured the pair as they drifted across the polished floor. They stopped in unison before Il Pozzo. Silent, transfixed, they stood for 10 motionless minutes, eyes flicking neither left nor right. Then, as if cued by some script only they could read, both turned toward the nearest camera. Their faces, slack and vacant only moments before, warped into wide, uncanny grins, smiles stretched as if beneath the influence of another's hand. The footage ended in static. When the search began at sunrise, there was no trace of the students, no luggage, no sign of tampering or escape, not even the echo of footfalls beyond the last camera's sightline. Only faint smudges beneath the painting, and a subtle spiral etched into the lacquer of the museum's floor. When authorities examined Il Pozzo, a coldness lingered about its frame. Its colors, amber, scarlet, shadowed blues, and that hypnotic, endless black, were impossibly vibrant. The wood smelled faintly of must and incense, and on the canvas's back, detectives found a single symbol, a coiling spiral, the tail of which seemed to disappear forever inward. Below it, a Latin phrase scrawled in fine, hurried hand. Respis in abyssum et redeas numquam. Look into the abyss and you shall not return. Rumors soon coalesced into a dark consensus. No one remembered seeing the artwork before the war. It appeared in inventory as a post-war mystery, discovered in a ruined Venetian cellar strewn with the relics of a family whose bloodline had long ago dried up. No identifying sibling painting, no title, no obvious lineage. Yet still, scholars debated in furtive letters and closed interviews. Did it echo the brushwork of certain Venetian masters, or carry the wildness of northern ascetics driven mad by color and devotion? One theory, growing in popularity, claimed the original artist had vanished too. Not just from Florence, but from all record and recollection after completing the painting. The notion of a cursed artwork, of an image imbued with the artist's soul or contaminated by something older, was not new to Italy's ancient halls. But with Il Pozzo, the idea didn't inspire nervous laughter or academic disdain. Instead, a hush followed the utterance of its name, as if to say it aloud risked summoning whatever lingered in its depths. Years passed, until in 1908, a respected theologian and symbologist, Professor Lorenzo Mantegna, insisted upon examining the painting himself. His reputation as a skeptic made him an ideal candidate, so the gallery curators with hesitant glances permitted him entry. Mantegna kept a meticulous diary of his encounter. His first entries were dismissive. He found the painting's composition unremarkable, the spiral merely a sign of the era's fascination with the infinite. But then the tone of his writing shifted, growing fevered and anxious. When I gaze into the center, the black hole, it appears to move. It's not an optical illusion. It truly seems to swirl, pulling me in stronger than gravity. The air thickens, my heart stumbles in my chest. 2 days after his final entry, Mantegna's body was found on the ground below his 5th-floor hotel window. His personal effects revealed no note, no explanation, only the painting itself, meticulously packed for transport. The canvas faced outward, watching, as if waiting for new eyes. By the early 1980s, these events, so numerous and distinct in their horror, forced the hands of the Italian government. Quietly, beneath the marble halls of the Ministry of Culture, the decision was made. Il Pozzo would never see public light again. The painting was pried from its frame, sealed in a crate, and ferried by armed escort to Vatican City, where it was whispered to have joined the forbidden collection in the Archivum Secretum Apostolicum Vaticanum, the Vatican's secret archives. Yet for all the precautions, the curse of Il Pozzo proved insidious. At the request of academic institutions, always seeking knowledge, always courting madness, a trio of modern artists was granted a brief, heavily supervised access. They sought not merely to view, but to recreate Il Pozzo as a study of technique. But within weeks, the curse unfurled anew. One artist, sleepless and wild-eyed, could paint nothing but red spirals, burning through his supplies, smearing blood upon canvas when the paint ran dry. Another, after peering through a magnifying lens at the replica's vortex, stumbled back and found the world had gone terrifyingly mute. No sound could be formed from his mouth, no words written except for involuntary spirals in dusty corners. The third did not return home at all. Their flat was found empty, the only clue a phrase scrawled in condensation upon a bathroom mirror. The well knows my name. Scholars wondered aloud, if the original was locked away, why did the curse persist? Why did even images, copies, echoes of the painting carry a malevolence that gnawed into the psyche? Theories abounded. Some whispered that the spiral was not merely a trick of brushwork, but a key, a sign for a door best left shut. Then in 2009, the city shivered beneath the strain of a silent earthquake. Dust tumbled from the Uffizi's ancient ceilings. When the tremors ceased, workers discovered a hole in the stone floor, precisely where Il Pozzo once hung during the vanished exhibition of 1966. Engineers gathered, tested for faults, blamed the shifting earth, yet none could measure its depth. A drone, fitted with powerful lamps, was lowered in. Its camera captured only an endless swallowing black. The signal faltered, then was lost after 14 seconds. Those present reported a chill seeping from the well, and one technician, a former seminarian, fell pale as he swore he'd heard faint Latin, intoned like prayer or curse, echoing upward from the abyss. The world, so eager to savor forbidden fruit, soon found a way to conjure the painting's terror anew. In the era of digital replication, a high-resolution scan of Il Pozzo was leaked onto obscure forums. At first, it seemed a curiosity, a thrill for the daring. But as more viewers paused before the screened vortex, reports filtered in. I stared into the center for several minutes, confessed one forum user. Now every night, my dreams are filled with falling. Not a peaceful drift, but a plunge forever downward into spirals without end. Another. I have begun to hear whispers when I close my eyes, always in a language I don't understand, always pulling me toward something dark, something bottomless. By now, Il Pozzo is more than a relic. It is legend, a cyclone of myth and whispered warning. Its spiral motif, once relegated to dusty tomes and furtive scribblings, has appeared in unexpected places. Scratched into park benches, traced in condensation on windows, swirling within the background of modern art shown by those who claim never to have seen the original. And so, the story becomes a caution. There are artifacts in this world made not for adoration, not to beautify or inspire, but to drag the viewer into communion with realms better left unmapped. Consider as you listen. Have you ever looked into the center of something, a shadow or a painting, and felt the tug of unseen gravity? Have you ever sensed, in the silence after midnight, that you are being observed, counted among the missing, chosen by some headline you never agreed to speak? Perhaps, just before sleep claims you this evening, you'll remember the stories of vanished students, of a professor's haunted gaze, of an artist's last words upon glass turned cold and clean. Perhaps you will recall the warning, etched in ancient script: "Look into the abyss, and you shall not return." Not every painting is meant to be seen. Some were created as doors, holding back that which should not seep into our world. Il Pozzo, the well, remains hidden now, its true canvas barricaded by faith, hope, and the last desperate efforts of men who understand that not every mystery must be solved. But the digital world offers no barricade, no holy water or silver key. With every click, the spiral turns anew, and each new viewer, staring just a moment too long, wonders if the silent invitation has claimed them too. And if, as you drift into dream, the darkness seems to swirl and the abyss stretches forever at your feet, know this: you are not alone. The well waits patiently, and its depths are deeper than history, older than memory. Beware what you choose to see. After all, some artworks aren't meant to be viewed. They're meant to view you. So ask yourself, do you feel the pull of the abyss? Do you dream of a swirling black void, fall endlessly through shadow, sense a gaze upon your own? Perhaps you have already glimpsed Il Pozzo, if only in the haunted confines of your mind. Dare you look again? If the chill remains, if sleep comes slowly, and if the spiral returns, painted on the backs of your eyelids, remember, the well knows your name.